Hello everyone and welcome. We're going to start looking at a Quizizz activity, and this is on our slope-intercept form. So make sure you type your name in, and this has a total of 25 questions. So we're going to go through them together, and this is for lesson 3.2. As a reminder, remember that when you are done with any assignment that you complete, make sure that you are submitting it into Schoology. Okay. So in slope-intercept form, we have been focusing our energy on this equation, y equals mx plus b. And the m in our formula represents our slope. So the number in front of x is always going to be our slope, our rise over run. And we have another variable that we plug in for, which is our b. And our b stands for our y-intercept. That's why we call it our slope-intercept form, because we have our slope and then our intercept. Beautiful. So given this equation, y equals 3/5 x, what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? So our slope, remember, is m. It's whatever is right in front of our x. In this case, it is 3/5. So our slope is 3/5. And our y-intercept is going to be what's added or subtracted at the end, because it is our b. Notice there's nothing here for b. What that means is essentially we have plus 0. We don't usually write plus 0. So if you don't see a y-intercept, it means your y-intercept is 0. So you want to make sure you're selecting both of those, and then you can hit submit in the bottom right corner. Beautiful. So this says to find the correct equation, given that your m is 2. So we're taking 2 and plugging it in for m. And our b is 7. So we have y equals 2x, because 2 is our m, plus 7, because that's our y-intercept. So we see that over here to the left, y equals 2x plus 7. Beautiful. Which equation best matches the graph? So if we click this graph, we don't see many numbers here, right? So this is a little tricky. What we do know is we know what the y-intercept is, because our y-intercept is right here where the x and the y-axis meet, which is at 0, or 0, 0. So we know that our b is 0. So it's just going to be y equals mx. Now, we don't have any numbers, so we can't tell exactly what the slope is, but we do know is that this slope is going up and over, up and over. So from the left to right, our graph is increasing, which means our slope has to be positive. So we're going to have some positive slope, and then we have no y-intercept, or our y-intercept is 0. So if we look at our options, it cannot be these two, because those have a y-intercept of 5. And this one has a negative slope, so it can't be that one. So it has to be y equals 2x, because that has a positive slope and a y-intercept of 0. Beautiful. For this next one, similarly, if we look at the graph again, our y-intercept is 0 again. It is crossing that y-axis at that 0 value, which means cannot be these two, because they both have a y-intercept of 5, which is too high. Now this slope, though, is going from the left to the right. We're going down and over, down and over, down and over. So this is a negative slope. So that's why for this one we're going to choose y equals negative 2x. Negative slope, 0 y-intercept. Beautiful. What is the equation of a line that has a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 2? So I always like to write my slope-intercept form, remind myself, hey, this is your slope, this is your intercept. So when we plug these in, if our slope is 4, we have y equals 4x. So already we know there's only one that has 4x. And then our y-intercept of 2 is going to be 4x plus 2. Beautiful. If you need to pause the video at any point, please do that for yourself, whatever you need. So for this one, our intercept is now above 0, right? Here's 0, and we can see that our graph is above it, which means it cannot be these two options because it doesn't have a y-intercept of 0. So now the difference between these two is the slope positive or negative? Well, this slope, if we read the graph from left to right, is going up from left to right. So it is a positive slope. So the one that's going to make the most sense here is y equals 1x plus 3. Beautiful. Here, similarly, our y-intercept is above 0, so we know it's not 0. And this is going down from left to right. So I always start to the left side of the graph, which in this case is up here. And then to get to the right side to follow the graph, we go down. So that's a negative slope and a y-intercept above 0. So we see this option here, negative 1x plus 3, would be best match the graph. Okay. Which equation best matches the graph? So this one, we think about where that y-intercept is. So it is below 0. Our y-intercept is down here. Here's our 0. It's a negative y-intercept. And the slope from left to right is going up and over. So we have a positive slope and a negative y-intercept. Those are our key factors. Even if we don't know the numbers, we can pick out that this slope is going to be positive and our y-intercept is going to be negative. So looking at our options, that gives us 1, which is 3x minus 5. Okay. Beautiful. What is the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points? So we have 0, comma, negative 2, and 3, comma, negative 4. So our first point is x1, y1, and our second point we label as x2 and y2. To find the slope between them, we can use our slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we have negative 4 minus negative 2 divided by 3 minus 0. When we have this double negative, it becomes a plus. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. So our slope is negative 2/3. So go ahead and click that as we finish up question 11. Beautiful. Looking at this graph, Our y-intercept is somewhere down here below 0, so it's a negative y-intercept. And our slope from left to right is going down, so it's a negative slope. Negative y-intercept and a negative slope. So we see that in our second option of negative 3x minus 5. Beautiful. Go ahead and click that. All right, for this next one, it says, what is the y-intercept in the following equation? Y equals negative 4x minus 5. So our y-intercept is added or subtracted on the without the variable, so we have that negative 5 here, just going to be our y-intercept. Which equation here best matches the graph? So we think about the slope. Is our slope positive or negative in this picture? Well, from left to right, it's going down and getting lower, so it's a negative slope. So we look at those numbers in front of x. If it's positive, like those two, it cannot be our solution. Now, where is our y-intercept? Well, it's above 0 up here. So it's going to be a positive number. That's our y-intercept, which means it's going to be added. So we see that right here in that last option. Negative slope, positive y-intercept. Beautiful. Question 15, from left to right, as we read this graph, it is going up. So we have a positive slope, and our y-intercept is below 0, right? Here's our 0, and our y-intercept is below that, so it's a negative y-intercept. Positive slope, negative y-intercept. You can select which option has that positive slope, negative y-intercept. Beautiful. Question 16, which equation best matches this graph? So this is our horizontal line. When we have this flat line, 0 fun, if we're thinking of slope dude, this has 0 slope. So it's always just y equals 0x plus some number. 0 times x is just 0 though. So the equation ends up just being y equals a number. And that number is whatever our y-intercept is. So looking here, our y-intercept is above 0. So we're going to have y equals a positive number. And we see that over to the left with y equals 5. Beautiful. For a vertical line like we have here, this is our undefined slope. So these are always written as x equals a number. And that number is going to be our x-intercept, which is on the x-axis, because every point along this line has the same x value. This is to the left of 0, so it's going to be x equals a negative number. In this case, so we have x equals negative 5. Makes the most sense for us. Beautiful. What is b in this linear equation? Y equals 5x minus 6. 5 in front of x is our slope, so our y-intercept is this negative 6. Beautiful. This line has what type of slope? So if we're looking at it from the most left point to the right point, we're going up, 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 up. It's getting higher. So this is a positive slope. Question 20 says, what is the slope here? Just reviewing some things from last week. Rise over run, right? Our change in y divided by our change in x. So these are going down 5 each time, as our x is going up 3. So we have negative 5 over 3. Beautiful. Change in y over change in x. I want you to try the last 5 problems on your own. You got